magic places in the world I've been to. This is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. 찬란히 빛나는 너의 이기찬 속에 지금 이대로 처음부터 Thank